So I am now the proud owner of a 97 Gibson Les Paul Classic. Now, I've always wanted a Les Paul from the 90s. It's an old Les Paul. And this rocks, dude. I was lucky enough to find this from a vintage shop. Now, I got a great deal on it because this thing, the previous owner was a gigging musician for 20 plus years. This has been to bars and clubs everywhere. It has scratches, dings, gouges. The finish is yellowing and chipping. It had a neck crack on it that was fixed beautifully. And I love that. It is just relicked and worn and loved, and it is going to be more loved. The vintage shop I bought it from did a wonderful, beautiful refret on it. Not a sharp fret on here. Everything is perfectly level. Feels great. They also put a wonderful bone nut in there. The original owner had changed out the tuners to be, you know, from those like little plastic kidney tuners. They changed it out to be Grovers. I kind of wanted to start with some upgrades, and the first thing I did was I wanted locking tuners, but I wanted something that was kind of more of a vintage modern. So I got these Hipshot ones. They have the locking piece in the back with the cool exposed brass gear, but from the front they have kind of, it's almost like that kidney tuner, kind of has a more retro kind of vintagey vibe to it, I guess you could say, and I really dig that. These are really cool. Another thing I did, as you can see, it might look a little dorky on there, I put the string Butler on there because Les Pauls can have tuning issues, especially when you're beating on them and recording and trying to get good takes, and you get a good take, but then you realize you were slightly out of tune or it drifted, and that's awful, and I can't have that. So I decided to give this a try. A lot of people swear by them, and it works. It 100% works. Can confirm, works. Another thing I wanted to do is, I've featured on the channel before, I have a Bareknuckle Miracle Man that I just adore. I love that bridge pickup. It is fantastic. It pairs great with overdrives. It's chunky, it's great sounding, and I just had to put in the bridge of this, and I wanted to pair it with another Bareknuckle. Not specifically the Miracle Man neck pickup. I wanted to try something a little different. So I went for a Cold Sweat, mostly because a lot of times neck pickups can kind of sound dark, right? Because of where they are. And they can end up being woolly and dark and drastically sound different from the bridge pickup, especially when you switch over to do some leads or maybe some clean playing. And the Cold Sweat is a very bright pickup. Like, it doesn't have a ton of mid-range, a lot of top end though. And this is great. It gets a really nice chimey clean sound, and for leads it just blends right in, and it's really seamless. Like, you can hear a bit of a difference, of course, but it matches really, really well with this pickup. Now, beyond that, what I decided to do is I wanted to put another solderless system in this. I do a lot of pickup demos, but even if I didn't do a lot of pickup demos, just for ease of installation, consistency of sound, making sure everything is done super well, I decided to reach out to the guys at Mojotone. They have a bunch of solderless systems. I mean, this guitar's got some serious mojo, so that got me thinking, why not try the Mojotone solderless system out? And they were cool. They sent me one to see what my thoughts were on it, and honestly, it's awesome. This thing went together literally in 5 minutes for the wiring. What it is you have a pre-wired switch with wires that'll run down here, and then you have the entire pre-wired pot system, and that's wired out to the output jack, and then it has this little terminal system, and you don't even need a screwdriver for it. It just has these buttons up top. You hit one button and then you put the correct wire in, close the button, and then it locks it into place, and then you move on to the next thing and the next thing. Now, that's great just for players. Like, a lot of players will send their guitars out to a tech or take it to a store or whatever to have pickups installed. They'll drop, you know, 60, 70, 80 bucks on it, and that's per pickup installation. You can spend that kind of money and get this essentially, and then just do it yourself. And then anytime you want to change out pickups, it's really easy to do it, literally in and out. It takes 5 minutes. It was super easy. I was actually really pleased with it. I think that's a good idea for people that have a lot of pickups. I think that's a good idea for people that like to try a bunch of different things. I think that's a good idea for people that have a guitar that they love, but maybe a certain project calls for a certain guitar pickup over another. For me personally, I'm going to use this a lot for pickup demos. You're going to definitely see this guitar more on the channel for all kinds of demos, and I'm going to put different pickups in this thing to demo them, and it's just going to make life so much easier to just be able to hot swap these in and out in a couple of minutes. But what's also good about that for the channel and for anyone that watches, that means there's consistency. There's not differences in any kind of pot values. Like I'm not swapping out pots. There's no differences in like cold solder causing any issues with output or treble bleed. There isn't going to be any inconsistency issues. It's the exact same everything, just the pickup being different. So that means you can really hear the differences for when I do, you know, pickup shootouts and stuff with this guitar. So that's very good. Something else I liked is I originally had just wired everything up before getting the Mojotone stuff with just the old Gibson pots that were in there. And then when I put the Mojotone pickups in there, or solderless system in there, I did definitely notice I got more clarity. There was definitely more top end. I really liked that.
Get on with it!
So all in all, I am stoked on this guitar. You know, it has all my little upgrades. Got my bare knuckles, the Mojotone system, the Hipshot tuners, the string Butler system. It feels great. The neck is dead even. It's heavy. This is a bowling ball of a guitar. It's so heavy. It's already relicked and worn and loved, so I don't have to worry if I ever like scratch or dent it. It looks great. I'm just so pleased with it. So yeah, thanks for watching. Stay metal.